We got a pretty good start. A bunch of...
I met Mr. Grossman's probably dead.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, he was an old man when they run this down here. So.
Yeah, he wasn't no youngster.
He was quite a guy. And then the other fellows that worked with him, he stayed at the house with Joe, at our house.
He stayed up at Siler's, too, I guess, down there.
Yeah, not as much as say Joe Whitenack's, because he liked that hot water. He said, yeah, it's not the best hot water for a bath ever was. He was a funny little fellow. We see at the restaurant, my husband Joe and I, on the bar restaurant there.
Look up this Mardi Gras. It's his catalog isn't in color. I can hardly tell.
Oh, it's bad I couldn't find it. Mom Clark was playing down at Vandalia one night. We would have been down this other place and came up and we brought her up there to the other bar where Dwayne Weaver was playing Joe's set of drums at down by the airport. One of those bars. And Joe came up and gave her one of his cocktail drums, like. Took her right off the stand. And gave it to her. She was a very nice gal.
I don't believe I walked off and forgot that. I know I did. Unbelievable. I'm lost. Because most everything I know is of the 60s. And I don't know much about the 50s at all. I know one thing I need to know is when did Joe work there? What years? And
well, he quit in he left them in 60 when was Kennedy killed? 61, wasn't it?
Who?
President Kennedy.
63.
So he quit just before that, so we bought the bar uptown.
63. He started in what, 53?
He started in 50s, I know. See, I wasn't married to him at that time. And I don't know where all my he's had papers, and but by moving from here to St. Paris to Florida, from Florida back up here, you know, you get rid of that junk. But it had to be in the 50s because.
Yeah, I was thinking he was there when they
because he
first opened it.
Yeah, and he came over here he was running tool and die plant over in New Carlisle, and he came over here and worked. He drove back and forth quite a bit. Ricky was here. Hey, Amy, call Rick and ask him what year did Dad is that when he went through this. My stuff's not here. Al, he grew up in that damn factory down there. Rick did. I said he'd been over here. He got really.
Did he work there?
No, he just grew up. His daddy took him working with him down there a lot.
Oh, yeah.
0545?
Yeah. Yes, he had a lot of sickness since then, Rick has. What are you two boys up to out there? What are you looking for? Huh? Margaret?
Grossman came down. He brought Ben Strauss with him, I'll bet, huh?
Oh, Ben Strauss and Lenny. There's another guy. He's two big fellas. Yeah, Lenny. Yeah. Strauss came down. He's probably gone too, but now, because he was no young chicken. I don't think when he was down here. Have you talked to him or anything?
No.
Because I imagine he's gone.
I talked to Jim and Dorothy Platt, Bob Kurtner, Jerry Shields.
Right, Jerry was there. Joe hired him down there. Took him down there. Marvin Thompson was another one. I was kidding, what year was his dad down to the drum factory? Rogers Drums? When did he start down there? I can tell you when he ended because we bought the Shangri-La bar. We was running it when Kennedy got shot. We were running back. He just got fed up down there and he just said, I just got...
Why'd he get fed up?
Well, it was just too much. He wanted to get out. He just wanted to get out and work for himself. He just, it was a lot. He said working a bunch of women is like working a bunch of mules. He had more women than men. And that's why he just decided he'd go on. We bought the...
Okay. Alright.
What year?
He said when he was in first or second grade, so that was around 1960.
Nah, he wasn't in that. He wasn't in a... When he was in the first grade?
Yeah, he graduated in 1970.
Well, he was before that because Rick was just a kid when Joe used to take him down there. Didn't Lou Ella know? Minnick?
Didn't ask her.
Because Joe was married to Ethel then, and so she died, and he and I got married. Trying to think now. Rick went to kindergarten over New Carlisle. Then they moved from, after that he came over here, and him and Jimmy was the same age when he's in July until December with my boy. It would be in the late 50s that he started down there.
Late 50s. So he's
It had to be in the 50s because...
He's probably there, what, 5 years then?
Oh, yes, at least, Mama, yeah. At least that, because I know
Closer to 10.
he was down there a long time.
53 to 63.
Because when I was gone with him, then he bought, because he was there when his, did Jerry say when he worked there, Jerry Shields?
Yeah.
Well, now, if you got that one, Jerry Shields, because he hired Jerry. And Lou Minnick.
You hired Llewellyn too?
Yeah, man, Llewellyn was his secretary. She was.
We'll have here one too.
Joyce Bay Shore. Of course, Joyce is in California with Donnie Martin. Joyce went with Rogers when they went to California.
Does she have any relatives back here?
Who? Joyce?
Joyce.
No, her brother just died because she's got his daughter lives up Sydney or someplace. I don't know what her name is now because she got married. The girl did.
She's from Bradford?
No. She was from Covington. She used to be an Eshelman. And he died. They used to live out here out of West Covington out here. And he worked there. Joe hired her and then she come along and wanted to know what she should do when they closed the factory. And Joe said, now what have you got here?
Yeah.
Nothing. He said, well, what have you got to gain?
Who said
A
Joe
job.
Thompson?
Not my Joe. Whitenack. Joe Thompson didn't hire nobody down there. He just run his music store. He tried to run everything. I mean,
Alright, thanks. That was Rick.
what do you?
That had to been 1959 because we moved to Covington in 1960 and before that we lived in Grafton for 6 months.
Yeah, it had been 58, 59, or in the 50s now. I wish I could find those papers.
Oh, what all jobs did he have there?
Who, Joe?
Yeah, what was his title or
Production manager.
the whole time?
Oh, yeah. He went in as a production manager. Every job he's ever had, I think he's always been a manager or something.
Production manager.
And he knew these drums. He could take any kind of drum and make it sound like a Rogers almost. We've been at dances and I'd have a drum, a Olympia Rogers, sound like a Tin Lizzie. And he'd say, let me have that drum, man. And he'd take them off. He put something with tune and them drums and he just, man, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's what I do. Tune
Really?
drums and fixed drums.
Yeah, he loved his drums. And I got, like I said, I got that whole setup to the house. It's great. Bacons and he built like a storage place that you carry your what do you call them? Your sticks and your brushes in them. It's like a seat with a seat on it, like round barrel. Oh, yeah, and same color as this. It's got that and big drums and the whole works. And I kept them because my grandson might want to get into them someday. Yeah, Rick used to play in a school band, but his kids didn't. He had 2 boys, and he didn't.
Yeah, both my kids play drums.
Do they? I think JP, this one little grandson of mine, one boy is his friend, but JP, he loves music too.
I played when I was a kid and got away from it. Then when the kids started playing, I ended up doing all the tuning, fixing it. So I started getting into it. And
got all those big drummers. You send us drums back here for him to work on down in the drum factory. Buddy Ritchie brought his in here one time. He was playing over Fort Wayne at that time. And Louis Belson played in Cincinnati. And we went down and seen him. But Joe was wrapped up in drums. He loved his drums. And then all of a sudden he told me, he said, just working a bunch of women is like working a bunch of mules. He said, I've got to get out of there. I've just got to get out where I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. That's when we bought this bar uptown here. And I just told Uncle Henry Grossman to death because he wanted him, hate to lose him. But he'd always come in and eat there when he was in town. He never ate nothing except right there at that restaurant. Even though it was a bar, he'd come in and eat. And then we sold out because that got to him. That got to Joe. So we sold that now. And one night, let's take a ride over to St. Paris. Went over to St. Paris and walked in the White Swan on the corner of 235 and 36. I don't know what I was going for. Yeah, I believe he said, I believe we can take this and make some money. I said, yeah. Man, that buying that thing. That little motel was there and all. He still missed his drum factory though. And he missed the people, but the people always came to him, And Jerry Shields was just like his own kid now, I tell you. And Marvin Thompson was another.
He was a painter.
And Marvin went to B.F. Goodrich now. That's where he's still out, I guess. No. But Jerry Shields was, well, he was just like one of the kids, his own kid. But,
Just everybody there got along pretty well.
yeah. All the women get back and forth each other, but not just be stubborn, they get nothing.
Just some good fun though, isn't it?
Yeah, it was, he said and all the people respected him. Even after he left there, everybody loved Joe Whitenack. He made a lot of friends, I'll tell you that. He was a character in the bar. Sometimes he'd go out with Jerry Shields, a bunch of them get drunk. They'd go out bar hopping in Pickaway or someplace. And boys always respected him. But he was there for quite a while. Till he got to decide he wanted to get out yet. Now, I don't know what made it. A long time ago, I guess when he lived in Dayton, he had a bar. And I don't know what ever made him want to get back in that kind of a business.
Something he's familiar with, I guess.
Yeah.
We got a few pictures. Some people. This is
My eyes are so bad I can't see anything hardly.
that's a prototype banjo
Yeah.
Jim Platt had. And that hung in Joe's workshop.
Joe Thompson's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His workshop. And they'd come out with it in production. It wasn't copper brass.
Let's see
These are
here.
just some pictures I'm going to put in the put in the book.
Uh-huh.
These are the tags that were inside the drum.
Yeah.
Stickers that went on the bass drum head. That's his first, the Thompson flute drum. There's some more polish. I got it. Swivel-matic throw off. Here's some of the lugs.
Yeah, the Swivel-matic's what Joe Whitenack introduced. Had the patent on it, but you couldn't do nothing with you work for them. You couldn't get nothing else. So Thompson got it.
Your employer's going to get it.
Oh yeah, but Thompson wasn't his employee. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Uncle Henry.
Yeah, he
Probably
was.
taken up at Cleveland.
He was a little skinny. He was a little skinny guy. He was a sweet old fellow. He had a personality that was very good.
You ever go up to Cleveland and visit him?
Uh-uh.
Ever
No,
went
I
up
never.
there?
Joe went up there several times, but I never went there.
Oh, that's that. They call it the skinny drum. There's Jerry
Yep.
Llewellyn.
There's Lou. Yeah, see the picture here.
Let's see, that's some negatives there.
Why in the heck did I get that picture of Frank with that whole set of drums? I wonder. And I want whole album. I've gotten that
You
now.
don't know who this is, do you? This guy here.
I can't quite see it. Joe Snape worked down there too. He's dead now too. But he got drunk and
This is Eileen Hartley and Jesse Hill.
yeah, knew that. I thought that looked like Eileen there. My eyes are so bad. I mean, that's why I can't see very good because
Buddy Rich.
yeah. Joe didn't care that much about him, though.
No, nobody liked him.
He had a personality that Joe didn't care anything about him.
Sam Collett.
Collette, ain't it? Yeah, from Pleasant Hill or something? Sammy?
Pickle now.
Oh, yeah, probably is now. I haven't saw it.
You don't know who these two guys are here in the basement? This is taken in the 50s.
Amy, give me my little glasses there. That little
I got a magnifying glass.
magnified glass there. Probably my brother might be in here someplace too, Freddie Walters. I don't know.
See if that works.
No. See, I've got sugar. That's why I just lost a toe and my eyes so bad. Now, my brother worked in the basement. Hey, this don't look like Freddie, does it? Amy, come here. You know anything? That one kind of looked like Freddie anyway. And Frank Walter. Now, Frank, my brother could tell you that. On all this. He lives here in town. That's where my drums are up at his house up in the basement. No, not in the basement, up in the upstairs in his room upstairs.
What if he's home today?
Call and see if Uncle Frank is home. About 529, yeah. Okay, now let's see. See if Uncle Frank's gonna be home. I'm sure he's home. You know. Now he could tell you. I mean, he knows. Joe hired him when he was just 16. I think Frank was there. Anyway, Frank stayed
What do you
there.
want me to do if you come?
Tell that fellow's here from on Roger's drum, the books. I'd like to see him. He'd come out here as far as that goes. Ask him would he come out here. Then I'm afraid he can tell you. He,
A lot of these are just endorser photos.
now Frank worked there when he was just 16 years old, and he stayed there until they closed. And then he's hired at Stanley's. Stanley moved up on that hill, so Frank still with Stanley. He's been out.
He's still with Stanley, even though
He and his wife.
they built that.
He built the new shop, and he is still. That's my grandson. That's one that I think could beat the drums. He wanted to. He likes music.
That's Don Martin.
Tell him I said come out. You want him to look at some pictures and see if it's Freddie in him or him.
Okay.
He ain't coming. He ain't coming.
No.
Why?
He's busy right now.
Oh, he's probably cooking dinner or something. He cooks all the time for him. Oh, shoot, I was hoping he would. Let's see, Frank worked there. I wonder where that one album, man, I got the whole set of drums set up and Frank is playing. And Frank was...
Edith Walters.
Uh-huh. Now, he started down there when he was a... Huh? Playing out there? What for?
It's sprinkling out.
Yeah, but you don't jump around on nothing and don't turn no buttons on.
We're not.
Frank working assembly, huh? Assemble logs or something.
Yeah,
2 North Main Street in Covington?
yeah. Big old white house around the corner. Like if you go back, how'd you come through West Covington? You come right in them curves, you can arrange that.
36.
Well, like if you go back when you get to the bridge, when you go back up and get that big falls bridge there on Ringside, turn right, and that takes you through West Covington. And then when you come in, the last bridge to come into Covington, why you make a left turn there. That's Main Street, and he lives down there on the corner of Main and I think Albury. I think they call that. I think that's what they call that. I wish my eyes was good so I could see all the pictures.
A lot of these are just
But he's and I've got a picture of Frank with my whole set of drums I got set up. And he was just a kid then. I mean, he was just a kid playing drums. I mean, you know, pretend he was playing sitting there. I don't know, set up. Boy, that Louis Belson can make them drums talk. Pearl Bailey's husband.
he's still playing.
Oh,
Putting
yeah.
on clinics. Belson is.
He's something else. Then you have a picture of Joe in there, no place, didn't you? Yeah, Joe come out as a production manager, and I tell you what, he'd go to Cleveland quite a bit, you know, with up there at the factory. He did more than Thompson didn't go up there. Thompson was less in his category.
So he's production manager, not a plant manager,
That
right?
was a production manager. Well, I guess he did it all as far as I go. He managed the whole works up there. He's hardly fired, too. So. Anybody get along with him, though. Really. Then we got that bar and restaurant, and I said, "Oh, you've been working with them women like a bunch of mules. How you gonna get along with them?"
Yeah.
Factor, because he was particular in the bar and restaurants, you know. We had good food. I mean, that's what the main thing we had. So when he took off with Jerry Shields and that bunch, then he'd take them off and go out bar hopping and throw them, you know, by there. And they had a lot of Jerry something else. Trying to think of him.
Can't remember any interesting stories or unusual things that happened down there.
I did work down. I mean, like I said, he's
I mean, like you're on, some of the trips you made with him.
Did what? Did the trips with him?
Yeah, what kind of trips did you take?
Oh, we used to go over to Indiana all the time, over to Jasper, Indiana. That's where he bought all the shells for them. I mean, he would go and he didn't believe in plastic stuff. And the skins, like the heads, well, they went to, used to buy them out of Sydney, that Sydney tanning. Used to tan them hides up there. Now, he didn't believe in none of this plastic crap. I mean, it's going to be so-so, or it wasn't going to work for him. You could tell when he had a bad day at the shop. Things didn't go right. He'd come home and grab his old log cabin and sit down. But he really did work, put his heart and soul in that. Now, Uncle Henry, he hated to leave because he had some down there didn't do it as good. Wasn't long after he left that they left. but he was.
Joe was a big believer in calfskin heads.
Oh yeah, that and the wood drums.
Wood shells.
Yeah, he didn't believe in using plastic. He just said that plastic don't stand up and didn't make. You don't get the sound, he says, you do on casket. But he used to get into up there. But we used to go to Jasper, and we'd spend a couple of days down there. And I would go work at a motel, and I'd sit at the motel while he's down at the factories.
What'd he do there? Just select.
Selected and make sure they were. He'd tell me exactly what he wanted, what
Oh.
kind, and I mean it had to be that way, or they'd be shipped right back. Even no fraud in none of them shells. He wanted exactly what he wanted, and that's the way he was with them drums. They had to sound so good, or he wouldn't. He'd work till he would get them.
And then he'd order certain quantities of different sizes. Then
Yeah.
Jim Platt would get in and pick them up. Then when they were done,
Yeah.
guess he was a trucker.
Yeah, they had a lot. And you know, I never remember Jim Platt. I know him. You know, now I have to have been away from there because she's wrapped up in out in Eagles. His wife is Dorothy. She's on Charlie Surrey something. But and Helen Thompson, that was Joe's wife. She was a good person too. But she's gone too. There's so many have gone. Like Wes Martin and let's see, Wes Martin and this other young kid from Troy. I don't know where he is at now. He worked for Joe down there, and he went in the service. And they'd always have problems with it. Always come for Joe. Like even at home, he always felt that he had time to sit down and talk to him. If they had a problem, after he'd say, "Now let's just talk it out later." So they'd come over to the house and they'd sit and talk. West Covington. I did that here there then.
What about John Wolford? Don't know anything about him. Dick Zindor.
Oh, Dick. I knew Dick well because we sold our house there in West Covington on the curve there to him, to Dick. And then Dick worked there. And then Dick went to the Gettysburg to a place to work up there. Then I guess they lived over Casstown or over in that area. They did. That's what I knew, because his wife used to work down in Stanley's years ago when I worked down there. Dick was a good guy. That's another one. And then that one, he was a Hungarian. Now Julius Cypos. He was Hungarian, I think, or other. And he came here. Joe put him to work down. Dixie Harnish, she is now, used to be Dixie Brightman, but she lives up to, what's them little towns up, take 35 and go way up there. What is them little towns up there? She lives up in that area. But, Dixie lives her fever down there. Julius, he was Hungarian. He couldn't hardly talk. He couldn't hardly talk English at all, but Joe Hardy.
Today, Sippus.
Sippus, Now he's in Bradenton, Sarasota, Florida.
He put the pearl on the bass drum hoops. And he used to sing.
Yeah. You couldn't stand him when he first come. He's foreigner, like, you know. And they had moved here, I think, from Chicago or somewhere. Well, then then all of a sudden when he left there, he married this lady, and then she had a beauty shop in Troy. And then they moved to, he went in cabbage rolls. Oh, Lordy, he went in cabbage rolls all the way. I mean, he went all the way. He had them on the markets. Then his sister lived in Chicago, and so Julius was going to Chicago, and Joe tried to tell him, "You're making a mistake." He had a little cabbage place down on Old 25, out of Troy, down there past that curve down there. Left, I think there's a bait shop there now. And he sold cabbage rolls, my God, those cabbage rolls you wouldn't believe. Well, he decided he's going big time. And they went through all that government inspection and, you know, how many ounces, how many this, how many that, and he about drove that boy nuts, but he got her done. And then he went to Chicago. All of a sudden his sister said, come to Chicago. And Joe said, you're making a mistake. There's too many rip-offs up there, you go up there, and you're going to get a problem. Well, he couldn't tell him nothing when he yeah, just go, okay, go. Well, he went. Well, the mob came in, took his, they set up cabbage rolls, and the mob came in and just took everything he had. And they came back here and they didn't have, they had to close in their back. That's how bad they had. I mean, they just said, we are taking it. And she was just sitting and cry. He would sit and cry about that. So then he went to Florida, and she went beauty shopping. Of course, then she had a nervous breakdown. His wife did. After that happened, his wife, Martha, just had a nervous breakdown. She couldn't, because she lost her home. She had already when she married him, you know, in her beauty shop. And she took all that money, put in that. Well, she lost it. She never was right, and she landed up in a hospital down in Florida. Down there, his mom and his sister, and they come down. They bought a motel down there, and they're in a motel business. And I think he got married again. I think Martha died anyway. But boy, he was, that man could make cabbage rolls, and they could make that Hungarian bread. And nobody, I don't think nobody could make it like he could do it.
Didn't Joe let Joyce take care of all the women?
Joyce Fisher?
Yeah.
She's pretty well group leader over. She was a good worker. And she had one eye, like, you know, I think she was by line, but she was this. Joe hired her, and she said, I can't do it, and he said, you can't do it. She's back here. Her sister-in-law died. I think her brother won. She was back here for the funeral. I didn't get to see her. I felt so bad because I can't think where I was at. And but she went out there and she said, one time she came back, she said, Joe, got more than I ever had in my life. I've got my own home and I've got money. And her boy, one boy went there with her, but the other boy is back here. Never got a divorce. But then some stipulation drawn up, you know, between her and George. She's married to George Fisher. And he was running around, and she just took all she took. So when she went with that factory. And Donnie Martin, have you ever talked to him or anything out there?
I wrote him a letter. I haven't heard back. I guess this is his busy time of the year. He's got that bait shop and stuff out there.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good. Donnie was a good worker, too. Donnie really put his heart and soul in that. Too.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to him. He may be coming back. I'm not sure.
He's got an uncle real bad down here, Red Martin. His uncle, one of them's died. There's only one was, the uncle is Red. He's had a heart attack or stroke or something, and I think he's living with his other brother. There's only two of them. So I just imagine Donnie might come back, because him and Red was pretty close. He might come back to see him. But their kids are all out there, so they probably won't come back. And his wife's family's from back here. Donna's right there.
And his sister's here.
Yeah.
I've talked to her a few times.
Yes, she's here. I thought they ain't been back for a long time, I don't think.
No.
I think his wife's brother or some relation just died at
Right. Paul Hartley.
Yeah. No, he died, so would that be her uncle or wouldn't be her dad? I know. I don't think. I don't remember who her dad was, but I know she was up.
Yeah. They're related somehow. You don't know where Don Kennedy went to? Director of Education.
Don't know. Joe used to be all out for the schools when they get drums. He would Covey in school, he set them up with drums. And I don't know what they got in him having that kind of work. He always was, for anything like to help out, he'd go out his way to talk to Grossman and them about setting them up with something.
I've got a lot of employees listed here. Pearl Adams,
Yeah, you talked to her?
no,
She lives on Pearl Street.
Pearl Street.
Uh-huh, she's a Street, yeah.
Gladys Alexander.
Yeah, well, now Gladys, I don't know where Gladys and them lives at now, but I bet they'd be around here because this Paul's Grove that just died up here in Bradford. It's man, them people was just like that, and they were a good friend of ours. And Jack just died a couple, 3 days ago, I think. Gladys and them, I don't know, did they move to Kentucky or?
She wasn't, I heard Pleasant Hill, that's what I have.
Used to live in Pleasant Hill. Now, they used to live, and then they sold that big house now, and they had a motor home, and I think they went to Texas or something. The last time they come back here, they had a big motor home, and they stayed down there at somebody's house, park it in somebody's yard down there. Now, Gladys, now that's Thompson's sister. Now, they could tell you where she's at.
Which time?
Not Joe Thompson, but Dick Thompson and Dick, and let's see, who's the other boy? Joe Thompson, young Joe Thompson. Joe lived down on Sugar Grove Road, I think.
Richard does.
Well, now Richard would know where Gladys and him live.
About Carl Ashman.
Carl Ashman, now he was up for running for sales, right? When,
I don't know. He's gone, I know.
yeah, he'd be gone.
Hardly Sunday.
Yeah.
Jeannie Black, she's gone.
Yeah.
Assembly. Bob Blankenship.
He's gone.
Is it?
Yeah, Bob died. He's down in the same cemetery that Joe's buried down here in Pleasant Hill.
Okay, Lynn Bowman, I gotta get a hold of him yet.
Yeah.
Levi Bowman. Let's see, Carl Bowman, Lynn's dad. You in Grandma's kitchen. Helen Byrice was on the bowling team.
Yeah, well, she's in bad shape too with the husband's just, he got him in a nursing home. They tell me that Helen's just going like that now. Her nerves are just shot. She spends most time out there cutting and cares him with Red's out there. Her husband's out there. She worked for us at the Shangri-La, the bar. Helen did. When we opened that bar. Cooked, then she met Red and got married. That Dixie's one you'd have to laugh at. That Dixie Harnish. Now, she lives up that little town. Now, she's Helen's sister. Well, it's a little town going up 235.
Quincy?
Quincy. And what's the other now? There's another little town.
DeGraff?
DeGraff. Now, she lives and she's a Harnish now. Dixie. Used to be a brakeman when she worked there for Joe at the factory, Dixie Brinkman. But then she married this Harnish up there. They live up there. Hey, crap, I think it is. Like, I think got a little farm or something, yeah. She used to come in down there to Shangri-La and she'd say to Joe, she said, oh, she's a mouthy little thing, even funny. I want a hamburger or a tenderloin, and I want relish on it. And old Joe just stand there and, he look at her. He had a personality we'd have, but, and little beady eyes of his. And he looked at her and he said, well, give me time. I got to go back and chew the pickles up for your relish. And goddamn, she would. She never told Alice for relish. She said, I think of Joe Whitenack. Every time I think of relish, I think of him.
What was her maiden name?
Huh?
Dixie's?
Dixie's. She used to be a brakeman, but she married this Harnish. And they live up there at the DeGraff.
She didn't work there, huh?
Yeah, she worked down in fact.
Yes, she did.
Dixie worked down there too. I'm sure Dixie worked down there. And she sure didn't know Joe down there. Now that would be Helen's sister, half-sister.
Helen Thompson?
No, Helen Byrice.
Oh, okay.
He said. Have you talked to Marv Thompson? He lives on South High Street. Well, George Street. Go down South High and turn on George Street in the first place on your left, a big brick house.
Maybe on the phone. Let me. Yeah. March 30th.
Yeah, Joe hired him down there too. Then he went to V.F. Goodrich. Go there. Let's see.
John Callison, Roy Burns, Gary Bush, Bucky Buckingham, Jeannie Buckingham, John Clark, Marie Clark,
And they're both gone.
Bobby Collins.
Bobby Collins from Bradford?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still around.
Ruby Cross.
Ruby's probably good. She's gone too. Johnny Clark and Marie used to own this piece of ground I had this house was sitting on. Johnny used to come over and drink. Come over and he had a Cocker Spaniel dog. He always had that dog with him in the car. So one day he came over there and shooting him and Joe sat in the kitchen drinking. Bonnie said, I gotta go. Went out to go. He couldn't go because the key was in the car and the dog had locked all the doors.
Oh, man.
We had to take him out home and get a key to another key to his car. He's a good person too.
Yeah, Bill Davids, Dan Davis, Mary Kay Davis.
Yeah, they both got divorced and I don't know where they live.
Mary Kay's dead and Dan,
Mary Kay's dead? When did she die?
I don't know when.
God, she worked down here at the IGA store for a long time. I didn't know she'd die.
Dan Davis, he moved out to California, but he's living in Jackson Center now. He went out there with
Well, I didn't know Mary Kay died because Mary worked down here in the IGA store in the meat department back there for a long time.
Well, Bob Kirtner's the one that told me.
Huh.
Doug Diltz and Mary Diltz,
Yeah, they're right here on
range line.
Rainsign. She, yeah, Doug and her.
John Ellis, Lauren Ellis.
And John lives, is he dead now or not? And they moved,
I don't know.
Ellen, I'm trying to think where they moved. I know Lauren, I used to see him out the end that's every once in a while.
What's John's wife's name?
Ellen, I think. Yeah, Ellen Ellis. I'm not sure of her name. Ellen, yeah. They moved up north someplace, didn't they? Or what address you have last? Anything?
No, nothing.
And Lauren, he lives up, I don't know if he lives around Purcell's or, I think. I see him out, well, I've seen him out there, but it's different time. Well, I can't think where his mom and dad moved. They used to live here in Covington on Bridge Street. House right up. Let's see.
Dorothy Engel's got a picture. When she finds it, she's going to phone me.
You got a picture of who?
The Rogers bowling team.
Oh,
That'd be me.
yeah.
Harold Trickey,
Yeah,
Hazel
he's
Griffin.
Harold died. Not, I think he died, didn't he?
Shipping agent.
I think Harold, it seemed like he died now. His wife died. And then it seemed like, I believe now. I don't know.
Roberta's dead?
Roberta died first. She had cancer. She died.
Somewhat drowned.
Yeah, she died. And I think Harold died not maybe a year or so, maybe a couple of years ago. Because I remember down to VFW, there's him died.
You got Hazel Griffin,
Yeah.
Irene Harmon, John Harmon, Mike Harmon, Marky Harmon, Billy Hartley, Eileen Hartley, Paul Hartley.
And Billy Hart lives in Pickle, don't she? Billy,
Yeah, Billy Johnson.
Yeah.
She lives in the same trailer court as Minnick.
Does she?
Yeah.
See, I know she used to own this big house out here on 36 when her and Jean was married. And
Now, I talked to Ted Hartley. That's where I got the pictures.
yeah.
And I took them back and had some copies made and got his pictures back. The same with Jerry. I give him he gave me a couple little ones. I gave him a 5x7 of one of them. He was original back.
I wish I'd find that one album I got of Frank with all that drums, whole set that drums.
But Joe never took any pictures inside the factory, did he? Or the outside? Or the outside of it? Darn.
No, I always wondered why. But he said he had enough pictures when he was in the CV, he used to take a lot of pictures. He really had a lot of them. And I always wondered, why didn't he take some pictures of all of them, down there? But I guess he just got out of that damn picture taking. Because, he could have one that's on the everything.
If you find any pictures of him, let me know.
All right.
Esther Martin.
She did, didn't she?
Not that I know of. Pleasant Hill, Ohio.
Yeah, I think. Now, I don't know. Seemed like somebody said she did. I don't know. I know her husband did. And then they moved to Pleasant Hill. They used to live up on 36, Route 36, and they moved.
Is that Wes's wife?
No, that would be Chuck Chalmer. I see Chuck Martin, huh? Yeah, Chuck and Nestor's when we used to go down to Carolinas, and they came back, and they bought a little piece of land up here on 36, close to that church going toward Greenville, back in there, and then they raise tomatoes and onions like that. And then all of a sudden he got sick and died. And that's why I said now his brother Red had a stroke. He's in bad shape. Now where you going? Huh? Going to McDonald's. Kids? Is that boy going home?
I don't know, they're in the medical.
I better find JP's gonna go anything. That's my granddaughter I gotta raise, and that grandson. I ain't got enough problems. Now my daughter here on the picture there, see ahead of that blue dress?
Mm-hmm.
That was my daughter, and the other was my granddaughter over to the right that got killed in a car wreck. Joe and I adopted Missy there, when she was a baby. And they got killed a year ago, March the 5th, in a car. When that 5 people from Cutting got killed. She read the papers out and it was on the news and the paper.
Oh, that happened.
They'd
Go
been
back
up.
to center, or?
No, a guy was drunk from Sydney, run a stop sign about 73 miles an hour. They'd been up to this friend's house up by for sales. And they go up there. When she was going, had just been finished. She would have finished 2 years of Wright State, and she was finishing a year in Ohio State. And come home on the weekend, and I went to up there at a party. Coming home, and the guy one boy was driving, had taken Angie to prom a year before the year she graduated. And this guy they'd been bar hopping. These 2 guys had been, 3 of them had been bar hopping in Dayton. and come through Bradford, and the guy went to, the one guy that was driving had drove all the way today, and he went inside his house to get his brother to come out to get this Carl to come in stay overnight, because he knew he was too drunk to drive. Now when he went in, Carl jumped behind the steering wheel and took off. Out East Main Street of Bradford, and made love on the Bradford Boomer Road, and the kids was coming down 185 coming home. Hit him broadside, killed all 5 of them. None of them knew what killed them. Thank God they didn't leave one of them, a vegetable. I was in bed, somebody knocked on the door, and went to the door, and it was sure. And 2 ladies, and I thought. And my eyes was bad, I didn't have my glasses on, I thought, well, maybe there's a couple friends in this, they was bringing them out here or something. And I looked at him, tiny, one of you can come in. And he would sit down there. And he told me what happened. I never knew what killed him. And you think that wasn't rude awakening at 5:45 in the morning, they tell you, your kid had been killed. Now, her and I was closer than any of my 2 kids were. So then I raised these 2 kids here. I raised 5 adopted children. Rick was adopted, Joe's boy was.
How long ago did that happen?
A year ago, March 5th. The kids got killed. We had a double funeral for both of them at the same time together. We couldn't stand to have one and have another, so. And the 2 girls was just so close. And we moved up. See, Joe and I went to Florida. Because Joe had after he got out down there, he always complained with it, his legs hurting. And then we went over to Drum Factory. Over to bought that bar, and then all of a sudden he got cancer in the back of his leg. And he couldn't stand cold weather, and that's when we moved to Florida. And he died while he was in Florida. But I figured Jerry could tell you funny things happened down there. That Jerry.
Yeah, he told me a few stories.
He did. Well, him and Joe was so close, and he'd come in there and sit and grin and laugh, You know when I get mad when Joe go out with them drinking, and I get mad about it, because you're at the bar and he's out. But he never sat there at the bar and get drunk. At our bar. I wouldn't allow it. Because if you get mouthy, you ain't drinking here.
Dixie Brinkman was related to Helen By Rice?
Yeah, they're half-sisters.
Half-sister.
Uh-huh. But I know she worked down there. I'm sure Dixie was there, too. Yeah, because she was hot after Julius. That's how I know. Yeah, man, they drove him with them.
Gordon Lawn X?
Yeah. Gordon's here in town.
The what?
Gordon lives here in Cottingham. He's out the Eagles most of the time. He's out there, I don't know how he even works anywhere now. I don't know how he lives, but, he does odd jobs at the Eagles here. Yeah, Gordon's here in town.
Helen Ross. Assembly. Paul Ross.
Paul? I think they moved to Florida, moved someplace south. Yeah, when I actually mentioned Paul, I know you was talking about him. Yeah, they moved,
Ellensville.
I don't know if they moved down to in Tennessee or where.
Harold Stein, he's gone.
Yeah. So many in this.
Darla Rance, Opie Shields, Wilma Poor.
Who?
Wilma Poor.
Oh, Delbert Poor's from Pleasant Hill?
I don't know.
I think they're from Pleasant Hill.
Frank Seth, you remember him?
Yeah. Frank took Joe's place, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's an engineer before that.
He did do too good.
Leonard Rhodes.
Yeah. Then, I'm trying to think of the old people, last people was down there. came in, they moved to up in Indiana, right out along the line to Illinois. So, Frank, he used to die. We used to laugh and he died. His hair a different color. He'd come in there and oh man, he said, look at this color. I put that color back and look what color it is. He was a lot of fun. I mean, you have to know him to. After you got to know him, he was a lot of fun. I mean, when you come in there. But it's sure tore Uncle Henry and him up when we always call him Uncle Henry. We never call him Mr. Grossman. It was always Uncle Henry. He hated to lose Joe because he didn't have to. Yeah. Well, Joe just Joe got ulcers from the damn drum factory. At one time, he was a sick man. So he'd take his job home with him, worrying about it, and that was. And he finally was on his. I went to the doctor and you got ulcers and you got them bad. You got to get out of there. No, I can't get out. I can't leave them. But he went on the fish, had to have baked fish, baked chicken. Everything had to be so, you got over it. And now he'd come home disgusted sometime with it because he'd say about how they were, the women would argue among each other or something, It was just like a bunch of meals. But not Llewellyn, they were close. I'm sorry since she moved. Of course, I don't count.
You guys weren't around here when the fire broke out down there, were you?
I don't remember that.
67.
See, we probably was over in St. Paris here, maybe. Because we bought the bar up here, and the people Ed got so he couldn't stand that. He just got on his nerves so that I just got to get out. And then we go run by that Swano, and that was even worse, I think, because we had the motel, and of course we didn't have hard liquor over there. We just had beer, and that diluted whiskey, but we had a good food service.
Grossman owned the...
Joe owned the land. You mean the shop it was in? I mean the shop. He didn't own the factory. Grossman owned the factory. But Joe Thompson more or less was in his own stuff, but he owned the buildings.
Thompson owned the building. Owned the building. Owned the building.
Yeah,
Grossman owned the business.
That was, and Billy Etter, him and Joe Thompson was in business together for music store up here in town,
Yeah, I got Joe Thompson's obituary here, and Biddy Etter's too.
That Biddy was something. He liked my son so that Biddy would. My son was in
1967 he died.
And my son's dead now too. He was killed in a factory accident over.
You don't have any of these laying around. I've only got one.
What?
One. Rogers catalogs.
I think I did have one of them.
It helps to identify drums.
And parts.
Yeah.
What'd I do with your card? I'll give me that here now, and I'll but I know I've got one. I don't think it's just not in color. I don't think. I think it might be a yellow. I had one that was a yellow. Yeah, I've got that on my.
Just that one.
Yeah, when they sold out to CBS, that's when they really screwed things up on Rogers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when they went downhill so fast that I could never believe it did sell out.
Here's this Paul Hartley's obituary. That was recent. Did you see that?
Yeah, I had that in
A couple weeks
paper
ago.
call we had. I got Joe something. So he died in Florida, but I brought him back up here. That's expensive.
Oh man. And where's he at then?
Pleasant Hill.
Pleasant Hill. So.
Buried down here, Pleasant Hill. Started down there, and I had we'd go by there, going down in Gladys and Alexander's house. And we'd take the back road and go down, and he'd always say, "That is the prettiest cemetery. Look at them big trees, 'cause it's full of big trees." And he loved trees. Hey, you cut a tree down, you might as well cut Joe Whitenack's finger off. But he'd get mad. And so when he died down there, he had cancer, and he went on kidney dialysis, and he was in the hospital for so long. And when he died, first he told me, he said, when I die, he said, you could just cremate me and throw me out here in the ocean. Like that. And I said, now how can I have your, he was great on his lodges. He belonged to Masonic and the Shriners. I said, now how can I do that down here when all your buddies up there went with you, you know, in your lodge? I don't care what you do, so whatever you want. He talked about his own deathbed. So when he died, I just brought him back up here. And but I called up here, and Jim Barton down here was a good friend of ours. And I told Jim, I said, Jim, I need a grave site. I said, Joe's died, and I want to bury him in Pleasant Hill. And Jim went out and bought 2 lots around him down here. One there and one here. Well, of course, 2 years after he died, my son gets killed over at the Orfeld factory. Woman come back and turned the loom on, and he was down underneath of it and just could have killed him. So I bought 2 more lots. So now I started out with 1 grave down there, so now I got Joe, and my son, and my daughter, and my granddaughter. I said, who'd ever thought of it?
Richard Thompson lives out in that area.
Don't he live on that Sugar Grove Road or something down? Right off of 48? Yeah, now that would be Gladys's. And then Joe, the other one over here, Dick, one lives out here on the Fletcher Road then. Which one's that one?
Richard Thompson on Owens Road.
Yeah, now Owens is to be down, right? And then one of Thompson is right over here on the Fletcher Road right over here. The next street road that goes over like this. Let's see if you go.
Yeah, which Thompson did?
That's not big. He got some horses. If you go over here, go ring sign down south here at the first crossroad, make a left and go down where that curve turns like this, I make a left and then right down on the right back in there he is. Back there, he used to be a truck. Now is that Dick? No, Richard's one that lives on, well, which one lives on Sugar Grove Road? When you go down
I think he may have told me, and I didn't know.
There's one lives on there.
Richard's brother or something.
No,
Cousin.
Dick Thompson over here, that would be Gladys. Yeah, that would be Gladys's 6 brothers. Cause there's a bunch of them.
Richard Thompson's the one that had all these pictures of Buddy Rich and stuff. Well, his wife got them at the auction, Ellen Thompson's auction, and they were in the bottom of a box of some stuff she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
They just happened to be in there.
Well, see, I was in Florida when they had her auction, when she had her auction.
No, there's another lady on Owens Road, Beverly Moore. The Newton Band Boosters. They've got some old Rogers drums. They got a new band director. He doesn't know if he's going to use them or not.
Well, see, that's Covenant used to have all the band, the Rogers. Joe got them, and then all of a sudden they went out. Wait. What's that on box? Let me see this. I got a metal box, and I think I got a picture of Joe Thompson. I'm going to take a picture of that. It's a big news. Have you got a picture of him with a... I don't know. It's a picture of him with something in there. Newspaper clipping. Yeah, he had...
Yeah, if you got photos, I'll help you go through them.
This is a picture of a newspaper with Joe Thompson on it. I know if I find it, you can have it. If you write it in the paper, something, wait a minute, here's this other thing. I'll look.
Take your time.
Cause I saw that folded up in there a while back, and this picture of him, I think with his horns, I believe, I don't know. But then there's something, it's in a newspaper clipping. Everything was crammed down in this thing.
Well, next time you see Frank, put these with the rest of those.
Yeah, I got to get my, well, I moved out, you know, we went to Florida, and I didn't want to leave them out here.
Yeah.
One time, we had them broke in, we had a barn. And somebody was going to steal them. They had them down. But I happened to go there at the right time, and they, what the hell was this? I had a newspaper, it got Joe Thompson's, picture Joe Thompson, with all folded up in there and all that. I'll have to go through, dump this all out and go. And Joe was in there and had all these, I think I got it right here. I got one right here. See how this paper was. Ain't that Joe Thompson?
Mm-hmm.
I if you want it. I don't know. See where that paper is. Does it say it in there anything?
Date,
The date on it.
I'll be darned, that's, oh, 1960.
Let's see, I put a picture of him in that. What paper was that in? I wonder. Covered in a little paper or something, I wonder? I don't know, but you can have, if you want, you can have it.
Oh, sure, I'll put that in the book. I
'Cause
don't know how well it's going to print, but
I don't want it.
it's,
Was that the write-up on him over here then or anything?
yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, something gonna do me no good. We've had them all this year, and it's in there, and what the heck?
Well,
I don't,
looks like a dating paper.
I just wonder what paper it was.
They're talking about nothing but dating. until
So
they get
probably
into
on
the year.
Daily News, probably one of them little looks like a little section of it, don't it?
It's probably his shop, the old one.
Yeah, it'd be that old shop up there where he, yeah, and I've got, I think I got it. Here's my Joe's picture. This is someone I took in Florida with him. Let's see. I don't know why they didn't take pictures down there. I used to have a good picture of him if I could. On his, like he had some taken when he was going overseas or something, one of the passport or something. I don't know. One of my billfolds someplace, I guess. But that's what he looked like. When he's fat, don't it? Yep, I know. Now here's two fat people, me and him. When my daughter's fat, my daughter, but see how?
Oh,
Yeah, real bad. I know we had some, I've got some snapshot of him someplace around here.
yeah, around the time he was working there, that would.
I know I've
Great.
got some someplace. I think I took some of him and, I damn this one kid from Troy. I can't think of his name. He and his wife came to visit us after we moved to Florida. It's one thing I can say that everybody, when they knew Joe, they never forgot it. You know, they'd always come down and, like they went to Florida, they come see us. And we come home, we kept this house up here, and of course I built on to it since I've come back. It used to be just over to here,
Mm-hmm.
back that way. Then when I come back, I built that big family when I decided we was gonna come back to live here. But we kept the house and we winterized it in the wintertime. And then summer we'd come up. Everybody come out to see when we was up here. He was a well-liked guy. But he died a horrible death, you know, that kidney dialysis. First had cancer in the back of his leg, operation after operation on that, and then they'd move in another spot and they'd take it. And then he had that, went on kidney dialysis on Valentine's Day. Oh, that was hell.
Well, what year did he pass away?
He passed, he's been gonna be 11 years, 11 years August. Hello? Hi. I'm still here, honey. And your sock? Okay. Yeah, well. Okay. Okay.
Find out where
What?
the cemetery's right at the edge of town.
Pleasant Hill?
It's right at the edge of town here.
Yeah, right down to your right.
Between Walnut and Cross Street.
When you go into Pleasant Hill, well, you can make the first, when you go into town.
First right at Walnut Street.
Yeah, that freshman boy used to be, there's a bank there now.
Yeah.
Take it right down there and then go in left, and he's the last row toward Pleasant Hill. It's the last street that, I mean, when you go into the cemetery, you go in the iron gate and you make a left turn
Okay.
and go right around. That's the last row of graves that down in there.
Well, I wonder if... Well, I'd give Frank a call sometime. Well, I appreciate this. This got information in it, too. This
Oh, yeah?
about his wife, I mean, some of the instruments.
That's what I thought. You know, I knew that I had one of them here someplace of him. And I thought, well, ain't gonna do me no good.
Well,
Since I died, they'd throw it away. The kids would. That's why I say, don't get stuff out organized. So
yeah.
they just told me, they don't think nothing about it.
Yes, Dayton Daily News. Yeah, this is an important addition to the book, really. You run across, anything.
I'll just keep looking. I know I've got stuff up in that barn, that little red barn up there someplace in that barn. I know I got a file cabinet up in there. And when I moved back here, we just
Set it up there.
set up every place. I had stuff uptown, I had a barn, and like I say, they almost stole my set of drums that time up there, and we was living in town. We had we didn't have a place to store, so we had them up in the top of the barn. And I went down there one day to get something. I don't remember what I went down the barn for. And there they were, sitting right by the door. When like little sliding doors off, there are all them drums stacked up right there. And I think I caught them in the act, what I done. They could have been in the barn when I was there, but I knew one thing, the drums didn't stay in the barn that day. I took them right with me.
Yeah, it's the one thing you got left from Rogers is those drums.
Yeah, and the original ones.
The only thing is a snare drum. Next time you get around them, you might want to loosen the head, because the snare drum.
Yeah, I've got the keys too.
Yeah, these lug casings are all very weak.
Yeah, I've got all the.
They can break.
I've got the lug keys and everything too.
I would bet you the snare drum lugs are broken now.
No, I don't think so.
Right along here they break.
Because these are pretty well heavy. Joe changed a lot of this stuff that used to be on the drums. But I've got that whole set, and I got at my brother's house. I would like to. I got one room back here. I'd like to clean everything out of it and put my drums in there, and I got, let's see, I said, I can start a music store. I got clarinets, I got, and my little daughter, I got Kale, she played organ. I got 2 organs sitting in there.
Yeah.
I got a saxophone, alto sax. Yeah, alto sax. Another thing, JP, he knows that thing, so he got a lot of wind out of the fellows here.
That's what it takes.
And he likes music. You know, if he get a minute music come on, he's going with it. And his grandpa, Joe, used to sit down there and see, he was just a little fellow when Joe died, because he's 11 years old now. Joe will be dead, but I'm 11 years old. And he would sit, and Joe's been in a wheelchair. I'd bring him out in front there, and I'd go to him on Sundays and bring him home from the hospital for a while. I'd take him back. He said, well, he didn't want to be home with the kids. He would say, I don't want to let these little kids see me. And especially Missy. He said, I don't want her to be here when I die. She see this from me. And here now, he's down there and she's there too. He loved his lodge, and he loved his drums. Well, I'll be for hanging. I just know that's what he does do. Hello. Yeah, you can hang on this. You're outside again. Old boy's got his crap over there. I tend to them. Andrew! Hey! JP! Turn that furnace off! Andrew's one on the telephone! Shut the door! Andrew's mom wants him on the phone. Raining pretty good drops out here now.
Oh, is it?
What?
I found your tools
In there? Okay.
in the motorbike.
Turn the furnace off. Yeah, big drops are coming. Your mom's right there, huh? The phone's there.
Well,
I'm glad they're okay.
I don't know. I don't know when.
I'm going away after a while. I go get JP's bunk beds after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Run across any stuff like this.
I will. I got your card now. You know what I'm gonna do? JP, get me some of that Scotch tape. I ain't gonna lose his card. Know who he is. Bring that, JP. Bring that Scotch tape over here. Let's tape this card right here, right in inside this drum. And that way I got it. JP, he's writing put another piece on this way. This fellow here is writing a book on Roger's drum. What you want, Andrew? What you want?
No, to come pick me up.
She's coming?
She's coming at 3 o'clock.
What time is it now? Well, we happen to go before that. David's going, well, Jamie will be back in a while. And David and I are going over and pick up his bunk beds today. Don't you turn that furnace on. Is it too cold for you to come in here in front of the room and play? You can go out and turn that furnace on that motorhome. It's automatic. Lighter. So they're out there playing motorhome with bottle gas burning. Looks like you use car lot around here. Gotta get some of that.
I'll put another card up on the refrigerator.
Alrighty. In that little thing? You said you did put one up there?
Yeah, it's underneath that magnet.
Oh,
That
okay.
Pizza Hut magnet.
Yeah, fine. And I got this taped in here, and I keep this sitting up, so I'm low enough. Weather gets warm, so I can get out there. And well, one thing I've had gotten an infection in where my toe was at. And I had that toe cut off.
You gotta fight that. Yeah, a friend of
got-
mine's got sugar, you know.
I've had the eye trouble, and then the toe got real bad. I was going to a foot doctor in Piqua, and then I went to a doctor in Piqua. And well, here, finally I decided to go get another, and I went to another doctor, and 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I was on the operating table in the city. Took part of it, and then I'm taking it clear off then. It's coming off pretty good. I had infection. That's why I think I wear these shoes. Now, you gotta be careful if you go out messing in something like that, but yeah, it really hurt my foot, so I've just been trying to stay out, but I know I've got stuff up there now. I got a file cabinet up there, a metal file cabinet. And I know it has to be some of that stuff in there, because it was Joe's file cabinet. It wasn't something that I...
Oh, yeah? I'll go get it
And
bring it to you.
it's a big one.
Oh.
And we got a stack full, but I've got to get that out of there.
Anything that says Rogers on it. You know, pictured, you know, Joe. Yeah, I've gone through the microfilm at Piqua Daily Call trying to find stuff. I got Piqua Daily Call where they tell about the fire.
You're going to have a lot of time in that, aren't you?
Oh, it'll take a year.
Oh, yes.
And I still haven't got enough information at all.
Yeah, Rick, my boy, one lives in Muncie. I mean, of course, he's had a lot of sickness, and now he had 2 open heart surgery. That's Joe's son. He's had